77% of our workforce is made up of millennials. That's huge. Now, even more staggering is 60% of our supervisors, our store managers, and our field managers are millennials. So it was really important for us to really understand them and engage with them quickly, and thus our partnership with Joan was born.
So it's no secret that I'm a millennial champion. My company's called Why Millennials Matter. But I think it's important at a forum like this to make sure that we're all on the same page as to who they are. First, we define them as being born between 1980 and 1997. So that means that they are 18 to 34 years old. So they're in college, they're in graduate school, and they're working, they're in your workforce in their 20s and early 30s. So that also means that they could be parents. They could already be managers and leaders in your organization. They're not just interns and entry-level employees. And they're most certainly not the myth and the stereotype of being a teenager in the backseat of your car playing on their phone. What we know about millennials is that they are the most diverse generation. 41% identify with a race or ethnicity that's non-white. I see them as being the most tolerant, which means that when they show up at work, they expect both their workplace, their leadership, and their customers to reflect that diversity too. They are the most educated, 61% having attended college. And of course, they're the largest generation, 80 million in the US alone. Poor Gen X is America's neglected middle child in the middle between the baby boomers and the millennials that we spent all this time talking about. You can see at the bottom of this slide, we talk a little bit about their expectations at work, that it's a means to an end, that what they really want to do is have an impact in the world, and personal fulfillment is something I'm going to talk more about in a moment. Their leadership style is already showing up as open, transparent, inclusive. And so again, that is either pioneered through their own expectations of what the world should look like or what they're demanding of you. So in terms of our partnership with Barnes & Noble College, what better place to start than to think about what's on students' minds, the student college millennial, in terms of what they think about for their career, their expectations, their ideal boss, all these things. And so we partnered together, Why Millennials Matter and Barnes & Noble College last summer, and did this huge survey. Over 3,000 students. We went to 4-year schools and 2-year schools, 44 states. We talked to schools and students in rural geographies, urban geographies, and the results were staggering. 17,000 open-ended responses. So take a moment and think of a college student that you know, and imagine them spending paragraphs and paragraphs, or writing paragraphs and paragraphs of feedback and giving that type of input because they were so passionate about sharing what was on their mind when it came to their career. So what we found was some really exciting insights that were really positive, but there are some things that serve as challenges as well to this group. The first thing that I want to start with is, how do they define success? It's not what you think, and it's definitely not what reality TV is telling you. Personal fulfillment was their #1 indicator for success. That means that making a difference and giving back and feeling that your contribution matters trumps money, power, and title. The other piece, though, that we saw as an opportunity to help them is that there was a real challenge in their college to career roadmap. They really needed to accelerate their preparation. So the good news is that when I talk to global recruiters and employers that sometimes are passing over recent grads, they're telling me, this is what I want. I want strong communication skills, project management, time management, demonstrate initiative and good judgment. Students know this. Students know that those are the skills that you want to be your future leader. But the problem is that they don't feel confident in the skills that they have right now, those specific skills I just named. If 2/3 of students are concerned about having the necessary skills to perform on the job, a lot of times they're prepared to ace the interview, but not to excel and advance in that role. The bottom part of this slide just talks about the fact that they're not using all the resources available to them, from career inventories to employer information sessions, their own career center. Certainly business schools, having traveled across the country, working with a lot of different schools, business schools I think are real focused on the career readiness. But what about the rest of the student body that really doesn't know exactly how to find and develop these skills? And that's the opportunity at hand.